walking to a class a couple weeks ago, and I kind of walked through a woods kind of similar to the one like this. And as I'm walking through enjoying the beautiful scenery, I noticed these squirrels are just absolutely everywhere. There's like a plethora of squirrels, fat ones, skinny ones, red ones, gray ones. You name it, there was a squirrel of that size and color in the woods. And I'm reminded as I see all these squirrels of this girl that goes to this place where I worship every week. I see her every week. And she is just absolutely fascinated by squirrels. She adores them. She would do anything she could to get one. She's tried to trap them. And she is just amazed by them. And I'm thinking to myself, what a great thing it would be if I could catch a squirrel for her. And so, not thinking this plan through absolutely at all, I pick a target somewhere in the brush, a little farther from me. I pick a fat one so I have a chance of running it down. And I pick my target and I look, I get ready to pounce and I take off. Dead sprint. The squirrel looks at me, starts booking it, I'm booking it, running as fast as we can. And I'm not even paying attention to where my path is taking me. And I trip over a tree branch and I fall flat on my face in the middle of this muddy, nasty marsh. It is just absolutely disgusting. As I'm laying there with my legs scratched up, wiping the goop off of myself, I look up in the tree and I realize that if squirrels could be laughing, this one might fall out of the tree doing it. And I realize that the laughing I'm hearing isn't only in my head, but there are voices that are laughing. And I look around to realize that I am on a college campus with 20,000 kids, and about 20 of them happen to be looking right at me, witnessing probably the most idiotic thing I have ever done in my life. And it's at that point in time that I realized that maybe this girl just isn't meant to have a squirrel. And I'm just reminded of all the instances in the Bible where people want things and they can't have them, and they do really, really stupid things to get them. I think of Joseph and his brothers. Joseph has this coat that his brothers want so badly that they can't have, and that they would trap and sell their own brother into slavery just to get what he has. And it's God's plan that prevails in that, and Joseph goes on to lead a nation through a famine and save hundreds of thousands of lives. And it's what's important is God's plan, not ours. I think of Moses, the Israelite baby caught floating down a river, rescued by Egyptians and raised as a prince. He has all the things he could ever want. Every material good he could ever want is provided to him by the Pharaoh. But that's not what God wants him to have. And God calls to him and says, Moses, he says, I want you to lead my people out of slavery. And Moses realizes that he has to give up everything he has to do this, and he doesn't want to. But it's God's will to be done, not his. And he leads his people on an exodus out of slavery. He saves his people. And I think, what would have happened if she would have got this squirrel? It has diseases, it can bite her, she can get rabies, she can die. It's not, she doesn't have a squirrel because she wants one, she doesn't have a squirrel because it's God's will. And I know a lot of people struggle with this in their daily lives so much. They think, how much do I have to pray? What do I have to do? When will God listen? And God is always listening. When you cry out, God hears you. When you're in pain and you're suffering, God listens. But it's his will be done, not yours. And as you walk through the path of your life, I want you to understand that you are not in the driver's seat. You can't get what you want. No matter how much you're going to want that squirrel, what you will do to get it, it is not your decision anymore. But it is God's. So don't try to avoid your destiny. No matter what you're doing in your life, no matter what is happening, you are God's creation. It says in Ephesians that God created you to do good works, that God has a plan for you. May that take tons of stress out of your life. May you be able to have peace because of that. And I ask you that you be able to recognize what God wants you to have and what you want to have. And may you have the wisdom to discern the difference. I ask that you have the ability to be patient and to wait for what God shows you instead of trying to pick things out of the signs. And I ask that you be able to have the courage, the strength, and the wisdom to determine what path God wants you to take.